Hey,
Hi.
welcome.
Welcome. It's Wicked
Welcome.
Wednesday, and welcome to Wicked Paranormal. I'm Amy.
I'm Kevin. Over there's Amber.
I'm Amber. Our guest tonight. Please ignore my hair that looks sort of poodleish tonight, but it's very humid out. The weather doesn't know what it's doing. It's springtime, and it could be full of pollen too.
It's not green, so you're good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Everything else around here is green.
Green. I left some shoes, some black tennis shoes outside.
They're not black.
They're green.
Yeah.
They're green.
My truck's green.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very Christmassy.
At least with my car, you can't really tell except on the windshield. It kind of
no.
blends with my car, but except on the windshield.
Yeah, the truck looks like duh.
But yeah, so we're dealing with pollen, and I think that the pollen count today, I sent it to Zach, because if you need someone to do some yard work and you're in our area, let me know.
Yes.
Anyways, but I think today's count was 7,067. This is it. Wednesday, April the 2nd, total pollen count.
Oh, yeah. It's healthy, healthy levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know that I think it was Saturday that it was the highest it had been in,
in recorded history?
Yes.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It felt like it.
It did, and I was doing the art stuff that day.
I was laid up because of the
South
pollen.
Pittsburgh. I did my nose spray and my usual stuff, and I was at South Pittsburgh Hospital pulling weeds, and the pollen was I'm like, nose is running, and I'm nose spraying, all the things, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, it actually
it
kicked my butt.
Yeah.
I was sick.
We're not used to that kind of
for like 2 days from it. Went through all my migraine medicine because it had me so that it had me a migraine. And
did you use a nose spray?
Yes.
What kind of nose spray?
Flonase.
Flonase is garbage.
Well, it helps me.
Does it?
Yeah. I have to be careful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are things that work really good with me, but I would be dead.
That would be
so
bad.
I'd be like, I can breathe now. I feel
great.
Wait.
My nose is clear, but I'm having a real problem.
I'm dead. Yeah. So.
Okay, so ghosts. Have we had ghosts this week? Updates. We need updates.
No.
It's quiet.
It's been quiet. Oh no, maybe it's because they're like, okay, he doesn't feel good. Let's just leave him alone. Let him sleep.
That's good.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's what it is. But yeah, no, it's been really cool. I'm trying to think if there was anything. If anything happened, it was like once. And it would have been somewhere like shortly after we did the show last week. But so not recently enough that I remember.
So, I haven't. Nothing notable has happened.
Okay, maybe it's
here. Yeah, we're some sort of a lull. I don't know. The hospital this weekend. It hit a certain point. Like people were getting hits, they were having a good time. Then all of a sudden, it was just like, nope. Just get, it's hit or miss. They don't perform on
contract. Yeah.
Contract. Yeah, they're just like and then they all kind of just went to bed. And we got a little bit of activity, like after our guests left, we kind of went and did a little bit, but nothing notable. I mean, they were kind of like, they would respond a little bit, but it was like,
yeah,
we're just like, we're going to go night-night.
We're going to go night-night.
Yeah, they're like, we've been entertaining all day. I always try to say hello to everybody and just so nobody sneaks up on me. I don't want to feel, surprised. I just like, hello,
hey.
Hi friends,
good to see you.
Welcome as I'm walking through, by myself. So yeah, that was where I spent my weekend. Now I can say that we were in the crew room and we got which is a converted, okay, that's okay. Sorry, Tourette's.
Face.
But I have an orange.
She's like, what did I do?
I have an orange cat that
it almost came across the
questionable
table.
things. has one brain cell that she shares with other orange cats, and then there's this one. That guy. That guy's like, that's Stitchy. And he's like, you know what? I just want everyone to look at my butt. Do you want to look at it? Hold on. Here I come. Look at my butt. That's that guy. So, he was very active at the last show. He was like, I want to be on here. Everybody look at me.
So almost. He's
almost,
like, yeah, no.
Almost like
I know where the camera is.
He's like, I don't.
I'm not falling for
I'm
that
a shadow.
again.
I'm just a shadow. Look at my whiskers. I'm a shadow. He's the reason I talk sometimes to black shirts. Yeah, because they think it's him. You know? And I'm like, and then he like walks in and I'm like,
oh, yeah, that wasn't a cat.
That wasn't Stitch. That's a shirt. It's fine. I'm old and I can't see very well. We'll blame it on that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, I'm hitting a big one.
Wait, I shouldn't agree to that. No, you're not old.
Anyway, so we did get a you know, like how they come and the nurses used to, well, they still do make rounds, you know. Mm-hmm. So it was about that time. It would be about like 7 a.m. to get the knock. And I have heard that before in different areas of the hospital. So it's kind
of. Would be interesting to do. Would be set up like multiple recorders down like one of the halls and see if you happen to record it. And then like 2 minutes later on the next room.
Well, I mean, we could go back because of where we were. That was something that we could go back on the ring camera and see.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, like, the ring camera should have triggered if there was actually somebody knocking on the door. The ring camera should have caught that, and then it should have told us, like, hey, there's someone at the office door. And that didn't happen. No, that happened because I heard the knock, and I waited to like hear it go. There's someone at the office door because everybody else knows the code to get in unless they're not supposed to be there. Which at that point nobody should have been there. Wasn't supposed to be there, so they should have been able to get in the door without knocking. So I was like, I don't open the door for a knock, especially if there's nobody there.
What if you don't know if somebody's there?
I want to make a complaint about the about UPS. Because I was sitting at my desk working the other day. This was last week. My son gets stuff almost every day. Work stuff or whatever. And it could come from whoever. It's not always Amazon. It's like whatever. And so that guy banged on my screen door like the cops. Everybody knows that, like, well, maybe not everybody, but some of us do. Okay, it was like that. And I was like, the fuck? Exactly what I said, sitting at my desk. And I was like, what? I'm like, looking at him like, because the window's open. I leave the windows open for the cats, whatever. Yeah. I look outside and there's a UPS truck. And I was like, you can fuck all the way off. I just about pooped my pants. You can fuck all the way off. I can be in an abandoned hospital by myself, and it doesn't scare me more than that sound.
No.
And he just left a package. You don't have to knock. Just put the package down, bro. There's no need for all that.
No, it tells me that it's delivered. You're okay.
Yeah, like, God. I mean, like, my kids had a tire delivered. That's fun. That was FedEx.
A tire?
And it was a whole ass tire with the rim and everything in it. And I'm like, well, that one brain cell.
Yeah, I think it just left.
It's about to fall off the table.
Yeah.
That's what that's about. Anyway. So, moving right along. No ghosts, just UPS men thing. And like,
yeah.
Like the cops.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, without further ado.
It happens.
But anyway, anyone who's interested, you definitely should come to a public event, or you can book a private event at either Old South Pittsburgh Hospital or Harriman Hospital. Both are very active. Both are very different.
Very different.
They are. The energy is different at both hospitals.
But both are truly worth the visit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm still torn on which one's my favorite.
I have to go with Old South, only because I'm just more familiar with the
I'd say
the
from
spirits there. I've
all
spent a
the.
lot of time there alone, and so I kind of have built like a
I mean, and I thought I would never make the jump to where am feeling like I do now. It's like, no, Old South Pittsburgh all the way.
Yeah, but Harriman
But
is
now
amazing.
I'm like, I kind of
we have
really,
had some cool things happen
really
at
like
Harriman, and
Yeah.
Harriman is just so big. I don't think you realize. People don't realize how big it is.
It doesn't look that big from the street, and then it just
And
keeps
then you
going
hit
and
Block
going and going.
Hall, and it is called Block Hall for a reason because it is an entire block of the street. So you don't realize that from the front. You're like, doesn't look very
It's like
big.
this wide.
It's like, hey, okay, it's a little guy. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Now, I have a question about those places. Like, if people want to go, do they just book, or can they just do you have what do I want to say, like events that go on?
Yes, there are public events. Last weekend we had a public event at Old South, and so anyone can come to those. Like you just pay per person for that kind of thing, or you can book an entire overnight if you have a team and you want your whole team to come. You can do that. We've done that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's how I became involved with Heather and Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to talk to my team and see if that's something they want to do, because I know they've been wanting to do something as a group. That would be a fun adventure to come up there.
Yeah. And for you and people listening, if you want to do it with Amy, and I'm working to get back in there.
But yeah, you can request me as your guide, as your chaperone.
Yeah, so
I don't have to investigate with you. I go and sit off in my own room. I'm just there if you need me. You get
or you can.
Or you can. You can ask me to. I can't investigate without being asked by the team. But I'm there. You have a walkie-talkie. You can call me if you get lost, if you need something or whatever.
And don't be embarrassed if you get lost, because it's you.
Isn't that the fun part, though?
Pretty much. Yes. But both are. I would recommend, if you haven't done both, I would definitely have it in your brain that, okay, we're going to do one now, and then we're going to do another one in like a couple months, just because they're both worth the trip. And like Amy said, they're both, I don't know, they're different. They have a different feel to them. Both feel welcoming. Both feel it's like you're amongst.
The next public event at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital is April the 26th. For anybody who's interested, I'm letting you, because you were asking too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
But there's a reason why, like, we had Ronnie D on a couple months ago, and they referred to the ghosts that are there as residents, and they
are our residents.
Yeah, and it kind of has that feel to it when you come in. It's something may spook you, something may startle you, something may whatever, but it's not that dark, oppressing, feeling anymore. It's, I don't know. I love both locations so much. Yes, I know.
Sounds interesting.
Spectacular.
So,
oh my God, my son's like me.
Yeah, you ought to bring up the team. It'd be well worth it.
Yeah.
And probably start with Old South Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm looking up Harriman.
Do what?
See when the next public is at Harriman.
Oh, I thought you asked a question.
Oh, I didn't. No, I'm sorry. No. It was probably the ghost in the back seat.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what kept waving at me back there. But yeah, I would consider starting at like Old South
Oh, that's why
just
I think I'd want to start there. Amy talks so highly of it, and she has so much fun there. That's definitely, yeah. I'll have to bring
Harriman's
it up
great
to
too.
the
I'm
team.
just more familiar with. I'm just learning Harriman because Harriman is one of the newer hospitals, and I just, yeah.
Yeah, I would if you do
Is that a thing?
we all do.
Everyone does.
Yeah, but if you do end up picking Old South Pittsburgh, I would totally recommend, um, not to stop there. And the reason being
Mhm.
is Airman is kind of like, as far as the paranormal community and investigators,
Mhm.
it's just now coming into its own. And
Okay.
so be a part of kind of the lore that will live past, us, in that,
Mhm.
Old South Pittsburgh's been investigated for how long? God,
Years.
yeah,
I don't even know
years
when
and
it
years
started.
and years. And, thank God Ronnie and them came in and kind
Cleans it
of
up.
changed the dialogue, cleaned it up, refined the
Found the true
stories. Yeah.
stories, and yeah.
But Harriman is, at the beginning of its paranormal life. And so, as your team discovers things or has events happen, that's things that may kind of transcend way down the line, where people will be talking like they do about the experiences at Old South Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
So, it's a chance to kind of get in on the ground floor ish, of a really, really neat hospital. I just love Harriman, but I love Old
Yeah.
South Pittsburgh. Yeah, Old South Pittsburgh though, it's got the full whole shebang.
I've never not had anything happen to me.
Mm-hmm, I
That's
can't
I've
awesome.
say
always,
I've had something happen at both of them every time I've been there, but I still love the SLS at Harriman on the bed.
yeah.
So
And that's when we got the surprise
yeah, yeah,
on the Nautilus. That was a cool night.
yeah. We actually had there was a nurses station set up in one of the rooms. It was like, what, a recovery room,
Mm-hmm.
and the nurses station's still there. And if the nurses station's wall is here, and there's a wall behind me, and it's kind of like a countertop, then right in
Mhm.
front of it was the bed.
There'll
And
be multiple beds at that
yes,
back
but
in the day, but some
yeah,
nurses still
in
do.
this particular case, so there was a bed there, and we had the SLS and we had the Ovilus, and you got surprised, and it kind of yelled it.
Yeah,
It was
Dave
like
Schrader's voice.
a birthday surprise. Like if you
Surprise!
open the door and everybody yelled surprise, that's what it did,
Well, we were surprised.
and we all jumped,
Yeah, surprised.
and we were surprised.
Surprised we were.
But we got there was a ball in there, and we had put the ball on the bed, and you could see the ball kind of. It was like it wanted to move, but it was like one of those eye tricks where you're like, I swear I just saw it kind of move. But
Mhm.
on the SLS, there was actually and I know people can beat up the SLS all day long. I have one, and when I get something on it, I question it as well. But this was a figure that looked like it was kind of crouching and leaning over to the ball, and
Oh.
you could see the arm reaching out like it was trying to push the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, argue SLS all you want, but if you're thinking the ball's moving and you can see it kind of, jiggling, and then you get a SLS of a stick figure leaning
Yeah.
over and pushing the ball,
Yeah.
more than likely something's going on. So,
A little bit.
but just
a
a little bit,
Just a
just a
little
little
bit.
bit.
Teeny tiny bit.
So, but yeah, I would definitely recommend it. So
Both of them are great.
yeah. So Amber, what have you been up to?
Really not much. We did an investigation of the Jupiter Lighthouse, which was really neat. We got to go through it at night. It was a private little tour, and it was really fun. The grounds are so interesting and have such a neat history, and getting to the top of that at night. I don't think we had that much activity. But then again, like you're right on the water right there, and it was a Saturday night, so all the clubs were like just like you heard all the music, the booming. So you weren't gonna get anything anyway. But it was neat to be at the Jupiter Lighthouse.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I love when the location is so cool that even if you don't get much, you're just like, this was the coolest experience ever.
Mm-hmm.
The best experience was being on the grounds as dusk was starting to come, where it gets that kind of like, I don't know, it looks magical, and you just got the feeling of like, I don't know, just the native spirits that used to be there before. So that's the overwhelming feeling that I had from it, and everything kind of looks trippy, and then it gets dark, and then that's when you start seeing shadows and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I didn't check with Peggy to see if she had anything, but I don't think they got anything on their little gadgets. So, but again, that's because you had so much screaming in the background from the bars on the water. So,
See,
Yeah.
that would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool to be there at night, but again, if you got all that background noise,
Yeah.
yeah,
I want it like during the week.
It would be quieter.
Yeah,
no,
like
No.
that's Florida.
well, maybe off season. Like
No,
you don't have as many snowbirds. I gotta shut these ones.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I've not done a lighthouse. I was trying to think because I know that we were working to put together doing the one in St. Augustine,
Augustine, yeah.
and yeah, now part of I had a team member that did with as part of like how they have like the celebrity guest and that kind of investigation,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually went off on his own, and which I know people were like, yeah, you don't do that, but in a case like that, and with the experience that he had, it's kind of proves the point on that because it's a story that he doesn't like to share, so I'm not going to share it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's one that if somebody would have been there to collaborate it, yeah, that's exactly why you ought to have somebody with you. But it was one of his like by far paranormal high points,
Yeah.
um, to the point where he almost you
Quit.
know yeah he
Yeah.
really sat down and tried to think about okay, what are we doing with this. um, but I've always wanted to do a lighthouse, and just the history that's there, being a history freak. um, I enjoy that as much as I do the actual investigation.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I got
so
some really pretty pictures and stuff like that. And I mean, and to climb up to the top and just stand at the top of that at night, it was just, and to think that someone climbed up that every hour on the hour, you know, to keep it going for the ships
it
is
would take me
wild.
so long to get up and back down that I would just have to stay up there.
Oh, but yeah, just going up then because it gets smaller and smaller, and you can't look down. You just can't look down. You just keep
No,
going. You just keep
the
going.
the last time, what's it, the matter of fact, I think it was the St. Augustine. I've been there twice as like a tourist, uh, and several times at the St. Augustine Lighthouse. But the last time I was there, it was like in the middle of the day, and we had already toured like a winery and some other stuff and taken some other tours. And we got there, and I got about a quarter of the way up, and I was like, something, I really don't need to climb all the way up there. And so I went and like found stuff and asked people about ghost stories. But
It
but
gives you a
yeah,
good. It's a good butt workout, that's for sure.
yeah. So I mean, it would, and it definitely needs to be worked out. But yeah, after walking, that much, if you're playing tourist and you're taking tours,
Yeah.
And then you go do the lighthouse. You're like, my legs were killing me before I got here. But
Mhm.
yeah, I can't imagine being up there at night.
It was wild. It was wild.
So is it at night? Does it still light?
It's no, they didn't have the lighthouse lit up in the old fashioned way, but they have like the outside, and I think they have like an automatic light now on top of it, like one that's not the one inside of it, but like on top of it
Right.
that goes around and around. That's electric. So yeah, because once you got to where they originally were, there was another stairs to go even farther on top, and they didn't allow you to do that because you needed to be like strapped in. That was like for the person. Yeah, and that's for the person that changes that light bulb, every few months or whatever it
Yeah,
is. But I wasn't.
yeah.
I was not going to do that. It was. It
No,
was a
no,
little
no. Somebody says strap in.
daunting.
I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm good.
no, I'm good.
That's hilarious. That's yep. So yeah, you'll have to let us know if once everybody gets everything reviewed and stuff.
Yeah,
If you can't found anything cool. So and you got to, now that you brought up the hospitals, you got to let
yeah.
us
They've
know
been
so we.
looking for something to do. It's just getting everyone. It's always like getting everyone together to get something. Everyone has these plans and stuff. So, especially summertime, everyone starts heading in different directions. So, getting everyone together.
Oh yeah.
I think I'll have to try to like wrangle them all in.
Well, this is we consider, in our team, you've got like your homeowners and your like not business, but your kind of more professional, or the
Yeah,
reason why you do this really
yeah,
investigation. And then there's the fun ones, and then there's the ones that are like once a quarter or twice a year kind of investigations. And when those come up, people kind of try to do everything they can to make sure they can make it.
yeah.
um, and so
Oh, is this your concoction?
it is a concoction.
Cheers.
Tonight's
Concoction is. We'll tell you when we're done. Just have a little.
yeah. Are we good? Just okay.
Sip
Do
it.
you want?
You don't have to chuck it.
She's looking at her face.
It's not awful.
It's not awful.
Does it make it creamy?
It is
Yeah.
kind of creamy.
It's creamy.
Yeah.
It's not awful.
No. I think if you went heavier on the additive,
Mm-hmm.
it may make it even more
Mhm.
like. But we had limited.
Yeah, so I only used one of those little bottles of wine and used. But yeah, I think a little bit more. It should be a little pinker, I think.
Yeah. But I would
We
actually,
only have limited.
if somebody brought this to me, I wouldn't complain.
No.
No. All right.
I don't
What
want
this is it's look at her face.
It's red wine and condensed milk.
It's red wine and condensed milk, and it is.
Hey.
It's not.
Where is it? Where did you get the recipe?
I'll let her tell
What?
where the recipe came from.
The origin story.
It's on the TikTok.
It was on the.
It was a
I
TikTok,
love that
right?
guy though. We need to actually.
Yeah. He does some good stuff.
He does,
Like,
and they do like a little bit of everything. Like they did.
it could be food too.
Yeah, they did watermelon sandwiches.
Yeah. So like they see what other people are posting, and then they actually try it out, and then you're just
they're like, okay, this can't be good, but we're gonna try it. And then
Yeah.
they're like, okay, holy shit, you've got to try this.
And they tried this one, they were like, but theirs was a little pinker. But I couldn't get the stuff. It was Next time I'll have more.
Yeah. We had limited resources
Mm-hmm.
tonight, so
I
That's
have
still-
leftover
I
condensed milk from brownies I made.
I can see this being pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, like I said, if somebody brought this to me, I'd be like, oh, cool, thanks.
And again, I used cold wine. And the thing they use just like red wine straight up, bought from the store, and condensed milk. That both of mine have been refrigerated.
That almost doesn't taste wine-ish.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, it could be dangerous. It's
Especially if you got the diabetes.
diabetes. Yeah. I don't have my beer anymore. I can't do diabetes. Diabetes. I see your face, Amber, but it's
It's good.
if you have enough condensed milk,
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend trying this actually.
Yeah, like I was trying to pour it, but I couldn't. There's still a little bit left in there, but yeah, no, I don't think it's bad.
Uh-uh.
So I would definitely try it again. So I do give that.
I would do.
I give that like a 8 out of 10.
I would say 8 out of 10,
Yeah.
like it is, but I think that with more condensed milk, it could
It
easily
go to a 9.
9.5 or a 10. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably one of the better ones we've tried.
it is because we tried some gross shit, but that one is good.
Yeah,
Yay.
no, I'm happy with that. It's definitely more. Believe it or not, it's more grapey. It almost brings out instead of the wine taste, it brings out like the grape.
Well, and technically, you're aerating the wine because I'm using that little hand mixer thing. So you got to use that. You can't just pour it in.
Okay, you gotta blend it.
Yeah, no, I use like the little hand mixer they can do with cream and stuff for coffee. Yeah, I use that little tiny one just to like, because you're aerating the wine. Which, listen, I love wine. I don't know a lot about wine, and I really can't tell the difference between wine. And that's another thing that they've said before. He's like, I bought this wine. And
They did it on this one.
She's like, I bought box wine. Is that what it was? Okay, yeah.
And he had like a $40 bottle.
Yeah, and she bought the box red wine, and neither one of them could tell.
And they're like, I can't taste the difference. So, but yeah, I would, if you're out there and try it.
Got a little red wine and some condensed milk. Yeah. Condensed milk, the price of condensed milk has gone up.
Well, compressing those cows is kind of.
It's just milk and sugar.
Yeah.
There's no eggs involved.
No, but yeah.
I would almost think that's kind of like a Christmassy drink then.
Could be.
It could be
one of the worst wineries I've ever been to. I don't know if I should say the name. That's rude, huh? No,
probably not.
It was a really bad experience at Mulberry Springs.
Oh.
Vineyard and Winery.
I was just looking at something.
This
There's
is
like
Flowery
an owl
Branch.
something.
We don't fucking go to Flowery Branch.
No, there's an owl something winery, like really close.
And
like right around here.
There's
somewhere.
one in Dallas that has wine slushies.
Oh.
Ooh.
Good wine
slushie. Yeah.
I love a good wine
slushie.
Flagler Beach. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I had to take Barbara there last time I was there because I'm like, you got to try it because it's different kinds of wine, different flavors, and you can layer your. It's great.
In a slushie.
A slushie.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is yummy. So.
Yes. So there's our tip for the night. So, anyways, let's see. So, did you have any activity while you were at the lighthouse, or was this too much noise to know?
There was a lot of background noise, and so like I don't know if they got anything or they caught any EVPs, and I mean I got some good photos. It almost like one of my photos, it looks almost like there's a guy peeking out, but again, there's a lot of shadows and stuff because they have everything is all lit up all over the grounds, so you can see, and then you just have a lot of boat activity because you're right on the intercoastal there in Jupiter. So
I lived in Jupiter. Back in the day, I was in 9th and 10th grade. No, that's wrong. 7, 8, 9, I think.
Really?
Or 8, 9, yeah. I lived in Jupiter. Mm-hmm.
And it's a cute little town.
I lived there when I went to all-girls Catholic school.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
It worked, didn't it?
And she didn't burn up.
Worked well. I'm all gay and shit. So...
That's what happens when
Amy, what did you learn in Catholic
school?
Yeah.
Well...
Hit me with that ruler one more time. I'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be gay. All gay and shit.
All gay and shit. Yeah. Sorry for the listeners who
that's-
didn't know.
Oh, how do they not know?
I don't know. Look at my profile picture. It's pretty
Yeah.
gay to me. So anyways, I did. And then let's see, Stewart, which is near Jupiter, is actually where the last place my daughter was led. Not far from there. But yeah, no, when I lived there, I went to all girls Catholic school. They were trying to make me behave.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm. Didn't learn to behave. Just probably maybe got worse. I vividly remember being at that school, and it is a very fancy school in West Palm Beach. And it was a what's it called when it's sleepover school? You know what I mean?
They have-
Boarding school.
Yeah. So part of it was
Boarding
boarding school. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I was thinking of sleepover.
I was just thinking
I was like
sleepover
camping,
in school.
sleepover. I was like, I can't think of the right word. Yeah. So some people live there. Some of the students live there. I did not. I rode on the bus. I think, yeah. But I was one of those who got in trouble because I would roll my skirt up so it would be shorter. At that period of time, it was like 90s, late
Yeah.
80s, early 90s. And so I had really big bangs that probably were like this.
Yep. She had the
There's
bitch
still a
flip.
picture on my Facebook like that, and I'm wearing my uniform too, actually. And it was like a blue shirt, and it had to have a little like a blazer and a plaid skirt, and I would roll my skirt up and spike my hair up and wear some really big earrings, and yeah, because I was
A
No.
rebel. Not at all.
I know it's
Not
shocking.
you.
I know it's weird. People would never think that about me because I'm
Mm-mm.
such a lady right now.
I have to be honest. I had to look up where Jupiter, Florida is. I know
That's fine.
I know I've been there, but
But yeah, I went the girls' school I went to was in West Palm Beach. Which is
It's just north of West Palm Beach.
so it's like right. He's looking up the lighthouse right now.
Yeah, that's it. It's
That's it.
gorgeous.
yeah, that looks like that would be fun.
Yeah.
I have to say,
Put together another one and we'll come down. We'll bring the team down.
All right.
Or meet us at St. Augustine at that lighthouse.
I would like to do the St. Augustine Lighthouse. That's been one of my.
Mm-hmm.
I've
After-
been to St. Augustine so many times, but I have yet to get to the lighthouse. The girls, Eddie've been there, but I have not. So.
I haven't either, and I've been to a lot of places there, and I have a lot of stories, and I know some of the history of a lot of the places, but the lighthouse I've never been.
I want to do
Yeah.
the lighthouse and one
Even
of the
in the daytime.
jails that you did around there.
Which I did.
I know, but I don't know which.
The one we did together, right, Amy?
Huh?
What was that called? What was the jail that we went to? That was cool.
Green Cove Springs.
There you go.
That's-
Green Cove Springs.
Is that where you investigated too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where I got called a bitch
That's
twice.
that's the one I want to go to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But you've
that's
been to
that was a fun investigation.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I could be like, dude, we need to talk.
Oh, where'd you guys go?
Did you lose us?
I hear you're familiar with Amy.
I feel all alone. I'm all alone out here.
Oh no,
What's happening?
she can't hear us.
She can't hear us.
So that means wonder if everybody
Is
can
this
hear
me?
us, or if they're hearing her.
What?
Look at your face.
What's just happening?
I don't know. I don't know if we're gone or if she's gone.
I don't know.
So,
But here we are.
but here
Look
we
at
are.
us.
Look, full screen.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Hey.
Oh. Can you hear us now?
Okay, I don't know if I'm on or not. I'm sorry.
You are on. Can you hear us?
No.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
I'm trying to fix my face. My subtitles are showing.
Nah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
God, that was a big word. So.
Oh, there you guys are. Was that me that was breaking up, or you guys?
What?
You guys
It's
just
you.
disappeared. It's me.
Oh, I mean, we can't tell from our end.
I just saw you guys have been like breaking off on me for a bit, and I wasn't sure if it was me who was going out.
It could have gone either way. Who knows?
Oh, who knows? Sorry about that.
Yeah. Between the
I
two
just-
of us, we go both ways. So, um, actually, we don't.
I was like, what?
We're one way street.
We're learning new things tonight about Kevin and myself,
No,
apparently.
no.
Come on. Anyways, so can you hear us now? Good.
I
We're
can.
good.
I can now. Yeah.
So yeah. Now Green Cove Springs. I did Green Cove Springs. Amber was there. I
For
don't
the
think she was.
investigation?
Yeah, but I don't think she was there when I got called a bitch.
No, you were with the one young paramedic and his friend, and I was in another jail cell with someone else. It was neat.
Another jail cell. I was in another jail cell. Yes, you were.
For every time.
Yeah, you wouldn't have any quarters.
I would not have any quarters.
Girl, you
Right.
would have a quarter or two.
Yeah.
Because you know.
It's a good thing
feral.
I had quarters at that point.
Fuck yeah. Fuck. Anywho, no. So okay, so you didn't really get a whole lot. I have you done the St. Augustine Lighthouse? Have you done it at night or just have you done it in the day?
It was at night. The same. It was a private tour. Like we went
In
after
St.
hours.
Augustine? Okay.
Yeah, we got a private tour. So we had a tour guide with us. She stayed with us. She kind of stayed off to the side and just gave us a little bit of history. But it was at night. Yeah.
Hmm.
We need to put that together too.
That would be cool.
Because we can make a whole weekend of it. Do like one on Friday night, one on Saturday night.
Yeah. Now, Amber said something happened to her in Ripley's or her husband.
Oh yeah. Oh
In
yeah.
St.
He's very sensitive, and they were in the room in St. Augustine where the lady was killed, and he got really upset because we were on one of the ghost tours with just random people. We went as a family, and he got really upset, and he took off out of the room and tried to escape, and I had to go after him because they had all the ropes up, and so that you wouldn't leave, because they wanted to like guide you so you couldn't go through the, because there's a lot of expensive stuff in there. And yeah, he took off running. He's like, I don't want to be here, they're so mean, why are they making fun of her? He had a whole complete meltdown, and I had to calm him down and tell him it's okay. He's like, no, these people are so rude. He's like, why are they being so rude to her? And he's like, someone kept saying over and over again, someone died here. And I'm like, relax, babe, it's gonna be okay. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there was a similar, and I would wonder if it was in that same area where, I've heard a story of, someone happened to be kind of pulled out of that location
Mm-hmm.
because of like being overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's what he was. He was definitely overwhelmed
Yeah.
with sadness and anger.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I've been there. I've never
not
had.
awesome, but
It was a neat experience. I had to, yeah. And then the other one is the Cuban Club in Tampa. That's where my mother-in-law got kicked.
The what club?
The Cuban Club.
Uh-huh.
It's a club they have the Italian Club and the Cuban Club, and they're old clubs in Tampa.
And
they what?
Fight. I was just being stupid. Sorry.
Oh no. Well, it's where the people of Cuba, or they would get together, kind of like have parties and different things. And apparently, like, my mother-in-law went in there, and we were supposed to be on a tour with a bunch of people, but it ended up just being the 6 of us. And she was taunting the guy as we were going up, and I told her, like, don't do that. I'm like, don't do that. I'm like, and the next thing we know, we got up around his office area, and I just turned around and I saw her arms out and she was like flying through the air, and she
Wow.
cracked her knee, and I helped her up and I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, I felt like somebody kicked me." And so I ended up having to take her and the girls out because they were freaking out, and my father-in-law and my husband finished the rest of the tour and went into the basement and stuff, and we sat outside, and I got on my phone and I started looking it up, and that's exactly what he does to women. He didn't like women, and he and so some of the things that happen to women in there is that they get kicked in the back of their knees, so they fall. And
That's
that's
crazy.
exactly what, and I was like, holy crap. And I'm like, well, I'm like, you wanted an experience, Mom, you got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that you found out that
And then
that's
there's taunting too. You're asking for it.
And that's what I told you. Can't go in there and taunt them. I mean, the whole time we were there, my family was acting like weirdos. And, like Eddie's like putting the EMF meter on him and he's glowing. And I'm like, can you guys stop? This isn't a joke, you guys. I'm like, you could just feel the energy in there, and the kids were little. JC was probably like 10. Kaylee was 12. And so like I was trying to keep it so that it was low key for them, because I know that the experiences people can have. And it was thundering lightning outside. So you have a whole slew of things that were just making energy even more stronger, and
your side too. Dang.
Mhm.
uh-huh. And JC kept saying that she was hearing people talk and laugh and and she was getting scared, and then Kaylee was just getting scared because everyone was scared. And then once Zeta hit the floor, that was the end of it. It was over. I was like, okay, you guys, I'm taking you all outside to take a deep breath. And, her knee was bad too. It was swollen. We had to ice it. I was like, do you need to go to the emergency room? Oh, no, I'm fine. She should have went to the emergency room.
Yeah. That's what I think is interesting about that, though, is in you telling the story, the event happened and you looked it up and then saw the parallel between and it was exact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Between what y'all experienced and what other people had. It's not like you knew that going in.
No, I didn't.
And then everybody's like, oh, I just got kicked.
Yeah.
This is like kind of going in blind.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, I hate to say that's cool, but
I know.
from an
Well, yeah, and my mother, and also my mother-in-law is also Cuban. So, yeah, so like, she was like, "Ooh, the ghosts are gonna get me," and I was like, "Zeta, stop it!" And then I don't know if she was saying something in
Stop it.
Spanish.
Sure did. Sure did.
I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, Zeta, like, don't do that as we're going up the stairs. Yeah. And there I turn around and I just saw her, and it looked like she was flying. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I turned around and I just saw her arms flat out. Now, you don't trip and just kind of fly. You know what I mean? Like, you trip and fall, you're gonna, if she did trip on her, but she said she felt something hit the back of her knee.
Yeah. She said like at the she got.
I feel like I got pushed or kicked or something.
Yeah.
When I was dumping water in the ambulance bay at the hospital, and Heather tried to save me, bless her.
So she was basically backing up what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
By what she felt during that
Jeff
same.
had said that he had gone in the X-ray room, and he touched all the things. And nurse, I think it's not Nurse Betty. Nurse Betty's the one that died by the. Anyways, there's a nurse. I can't think of her name right now.
I wanted to say Betty too. So
no, because that's the one that died by the door, and because they had to cut the door down. No, he was in there playing with all the buttons and doing all the things, and he was told that she doesn't like that. And as he was walking out of the room, he felt like someone kicked him in the back of the knee, and he fell down. He's a big dude. Like,
yeah, he's not little.
No, he's not little. And I was kind of like, because I'm a big, and to my demise someday, I'm a big FAFO. So I'm like, let's see. And I went in there and I touched all the things. So I was just like, I'm sorry, I just want to touch this and see what happens. And I was like, I've never seen this before and whatever. I walked out of the room just fine. I was like, I'm good. Went into the ER, went into Buddy's area, and went to dump get the bucket and walked out with the bucket. And I was like, no, Jeff said to wait and he would help us. And I was like, no, I got this. It's fine. And I'm carrying the bucket because,
That's exactly what the ghost said, too.
They were like, really?
I got this.
Hold on. This one's mine. This one's mine. I got this one.
Hold on. She may frame it up for me. Hold on.
Yeah. It's going to be perfect. Look, we can maybe take it out as a twofer. They seem pretty tight. They're like besties. They seem pretty tight. I think maybe we can do it like both, like bing, bang, boom.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's what happened. Bing, bang, boom. I went... And it's like I don't remember like losing my balance. I don't remember like stepping anywhere weird. I mean, I was going off the ambulance bay just to dump water, and all of a sudden,
off you went.
I felt like I was flying through the air. It was almost like when I was flying through the air at the Antista that one time. Weirdly, Heather and Jeff were there too.
Maybe it's them.
Maybe it's them. Nothing happened to me at Lake Lanier though.
No.
I didn't hurt myself with them there. That was 2 weeks ago at Haunt Atlanta. I didn't hurt myself there, and I didn't hurt myself this weekend. That's not true. I did throw my back out. But that was because I was like blowing weeds and whatever. I don't know. I'm sensitive. But yeah, so like when I was falling, Heather tried to save me and I took her down. There's that bing bang boom. We both fell. Boom. Mm-hmm. Luckily the cameras didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that. But yeah, so I did fuck around and find out, and I feel like maybe it had something to do with that because it was all the same thing. So I feel like I was doing my own taunting, basically, and I don't like to taunt, and I don't recommend that.
No.
Because, again, you fuck around.
Yeah, you find out.
But
I would say, as much as I'm against taunting, I would think that that's probably an okay-ish way to kind of do that.
What I did?
Yeah. Because it's not...
No, because there's going to be other people that are going to go in there and do that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just me. It's not just Jeff. It's like...
Anybody that could walk in there and be like,
through.
"Oh, cool! Look, all the X-ray stuff's still here."
Look, you could up it. Yeah, I mean, we're not the only ones. So,
and personally, I don't think my mother-in-law was like being mean or taunting, but she definitely like made herself known that she doesn't believe. Okay, I'm gonna show her. I'm really here, kind of thing. And I just was like, don't this guy, I when I did look it up, I was like, okay, so you're not the only woman that's experienced this. And that was her last ghost hunt, by the way. Whenever we went on vacation, we never did that again.
Yeah.
We never did that again. She was like, no, I don't want to do that again. I'm like, that's fine. It was really sweet of them because every time we would go on vacation, they would find that for me to go and do with the family. So we did a ghost one in St. Augustine. We did the one in Tampa. And after Tampa, she was like, no way, Jose.
I'm done.
Said nope.
No, but the back to the kind of how that's kind of like a subtle taunt. To me, I had heard back when the show that's known so much for pushing that envelope. I never
believed in ghosts.
Yeah.
Until
I talked to another investigator and this is back at the beginning of that show, so it's been 15 years or more.
At least, yeah.
And there was another investigator that was well known that I respect. And they were talking, and I was saying, I really don't agree with, this element and that element and the getting like your energy so high and running out. Because if you think of the early days, they would like act like super scared. and then kind of like run out.
Yeah.
And
And
they
then
were,
all of a sudden they got possessed.
yeah, but they were telling me
Whoopsie.
that
The demon.
actually
Okay.
that was kind of a way of upping
Come on, weird.
the energy in an area.
Weird.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I don't agree with it, but I kind of see
Okay.
from a scientific standpoint, I kind of see the
Be
logic.
famous. Come on.
Yeah.
So
Look
to
at
take
my-
that premise into the scenario where I don't taunt, I'm not the come at me bro, I'm not the, you act like such a badass with, what I don't do that, because to me a ghost is
Right. And
a
like when I was
person.
touching the things, I wasn't like, hey, you're gonna push me
Yeah.
now. I didn't
So
do it
that,
like
but
that.
that's, yeah.
I just,
So that's where I'm saying that to me that is kind of it's more like a trigger item almost, where it's not like in your face taunt.
right.
It's something that could elicit a response. And if you're trying to study something, if you know something is, and now we know of at least 2 cases
Mhm.
where a response was given after a particular action, now it becomes, in a true scientific way, that becomes something that repeats.
Right.
So to me, that's not necessarily a taunt. It's in the same thing with what happened on y'all's investigation. That's not really a taunt.
Hmm.
It's more of an invite, I guess, but not
Yeah.
like in the invite sense that everybody's like, you're going to get demon.
Right.
Not in that kind of
Not
way,
in
but
a Zach Bagans kind
it's
of way.
kind of like inviting a response.
Right.
Hmm.
And so to me, that's all right.
But yeah, you just never know what the response is gonna
This
be.
is
And
gonna
that's where
be.
if you're willing to, have your dance card punched, you better be willing to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better be ready.
And so, but it's, yeah,
Because
to
you
me,
may
that
fall face first in
you
ambulance
might
bay.
just fall face first. And
In
that's-
some dirty water.
yeah.
And then have both of your hands punctured.
Oh,
It was like some sort of
Kershmack.
stigma.
But that's why I tell investigators when they're starting with, doing this, I'm like, be careful the questions that you ask.
And be careful
Can you do
what
something
you ask
to show
for.
me that you're here?
Be careful what you ask for. Be careful if you
Yeah.
ask someone, you go, you know what? If you're here, could you touch me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Be ready for
Yeah.
what you're going to get.
I've said
Be
that
careful
several
for
times.
how you're going to get touched.
But
Because if you just say, touch me, I got my hand out, touch me. They may not want to touch your hand. They may want to slap your face. And you just invited them to.
Or give you a good goose.
What is it? You never know.
yeah. But I was just saying, can you give me a sign? Well, your sign may show up in the back seat of your car as you're driving home.
Home. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, don't do that one. Give like something, a specific response to what you want. I'm gonna
Yes.
knock. Can you do that?
That's my typical.
Can you do that back?
Or I say, can you finish this? Because
Yeah.
shaving a haircut has been,
Around
that's a kind of old sound, like
Mhm.
because if you're the places where we're at are usually older. They're not going to know a lot of
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons why I like some of the new equipment that they're coming out with, like the
Mhm.
music
This
box.
guy, he's like, hey, he has everyone seen my butt. I'm about to show it.
Yeah, she's talking about over here, not me. I'm not
No,
going to show you my
Stitch.
butt.
Here it comes.
Okay.
Stitchy.
Not
Stitchy.
not this time.
Stitchy. Come on. You're good. Come on. Here it
But
comes.
no,
Right
you
here.
think about
Right here.
music box. Music boxes and that sound has been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And so instead of having something that goes, all these like
like the freaking REM pod. Like
That's-
that. If
yeah.
I was a
Yeah, that's
ghost,
an
like fuck off. That sound is horrid.
yeah,
I don't want to hear
Yeah.
that. So why would I go near that so I can hear that sound? I
Yeah.
am
I
so
like-
good.
that other one where it's like they use an amp from a guitar and they hook I forget what that one's called. It
Okay.
sounds much better. So instead of having the radio go through and go, shh, it
It's
blocks all that out. What is that called?
The portal.
Yeah, the
The
portal.
portal. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
The portal.
I like
and
that
that
one.
one I do too. And I like. I've heard another one that sounds like the portal, but it sounds almost too good to be true.
Uh-huh.
Where it's almost like
Is it
it's
the phone app one?
well, I've heard
I
it there
have that
too,
one.
but I've also seen it in a box where
Ah.
it just sounds like it's exactly what you expect it to do.
Yeah.
As soon as a voice comes in, it's like, hey,
Mm.
I'm over here. And it's all like spooky shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe.
I think-
I don't know.
Maybe. Probably
That's
not.
from the reverb that you're getting from the box.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like an amp, like what a guitar would go through. So you're getting that reverb, so it spins, but you don't get
But-
that like that white noise, because that starts to tear on your ears after a while.
Yeah, but it's to me that just sounds like. Now I'm not saying in the true because I've heard like a real, like the
That's
portal
Jennifer.
that's like really big.
I have two.
And that one's
Actually,
like,
Green
holy
Cove
shit.
Springs.
Yeah.
I heard, and I think that was with Scotty.
Yeah, she had it.
Yeah.
See, and those
She had
sound
it at the jail.
Rest in peace, Scotty. Yeah, that was the night at the jail. Rest in peace, Scotty Burns. We miss you. We love you. That was that night. She was there and she was using it, and that was my first encounter with that. And I was like, this is different, but it kind of spooky. It gives
It
it kind
is.
of spooky.
It's eerie.
Like,
But yeah, it's just. But when I hear it and it's done all with like electronics instead of kind of the vastness of like sound.
mm,
Do you know what I'm saying? And if it sounds programmed instead of.
it sounds more like an obelisk meeting, like a spirit box.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, no, that sounds deliberately spooky.
Mhm.
Then I'm like, yeah, no. So, shit, how much time we got? This thing usually lasts for like hours.
Not
Not
my
any-
house. You
not
should
anymore.
know better than that.
29%, we're good. So, and something else that just something we said reminded me of this, and I'm going to throw it out there. As investigators, if we said, I have this, we're going to call this like our new device that's on the market, and it's a K4.
And I cleaned it today because a cat threw up on it.
Really?
Yeah.
It is pretty clean.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Glad you're not using it as a demo with some vomit so much.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Because some asshole that lives in my house decided that
Just
vomiting
throw up
on
on
the
it.
remote would be delightful.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that one. It was all three of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
It's
appreciate you
magical.
cleaning that so I can use it as a prop. But say this is the new Q4 device, and we're on an investigation, and I say I'm setting down my device, and then I'm going to ask a spirit, if somebody's here, can you make the Q4 go off? If we haven't seen this as people, we don't know what the fuck a Q4 is.
No.
Yeah.
So how's a ghost going to know to go over there and make the Q4 go off? So instead, say there's a little red light right here, and if you get close to it,
Yeah.
it may change the color. Refer to it in things that don't simplify
In
it.
time. Because
You know-
you have to look at time.
Can you make the REM pod go off?
Who the fuck
The whole
does that?
REM pod.
And
Yeah.
like, I mean, in our time where it's created, if you don't use that and it's not something that you're familiar with, you're gonna say, "Hey, do you have a REM pod?" They're gonna be like, "A what?"
Yeah.
That's that's
mean-
even now. Somebody I could die today. I mean, well, I know, but okay, say somebody dies who's not a paranormal investigator, and you go, "Hey, can you make this REM pod?" And they'll be like, "I don't know what that is."
Yeah.
And that looks scary. So it makes obnoxious
And it'll
noise.
probably hurt me.
An obnoxious noise.
Mhm.
But
think of it as if
and
you're
I have a
sending-
noise tick, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
set anything off that's going to sound like that. Nope.
No. But if you can't send somebody that's never investigated with you to your equipment and have them pick it up by name, a ghost isn't going to know what you're trying to say set off.
Mm-mm.
Can you
Mhm.
step across the EMF boundaries and all that stuff? Can you make my EMF
There's
portal
the rope.
rope thing? Yeah, go off.
They're like,
How do I do that? If you cross this line of lights, it might light up. Doesn't that make more sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, simplify it. Don't expect just because we know this is the newest and the greatest. You know,
I
can you?
think have you guys well Amy, have you used cat toys? Like the little light up balls?
Yeah. There's
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's an easier tool to use too, because you can just be like touch the balls or roll the balls, and then when they roll them, they light up, so you can kind of see that they're moving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and I love the I think they'll put the REM pod in a teddy bear too, or an
Mhm.
EMF in the teddy bear. I can't remember which it is. So then you can just say, hey, go touch the teddy bear. You
And I
know.
think it depends on which beer you get. Some of them talk.
I would
And
love
some
to
of them just
experiment
light
with
up.
that.
Now, Shannon has that dog. Did you see her dog? You saw the dog when we were at Octagon. She had her dog.
Yeah.
And it's like a stuffed dog. And he's big. I mean, he looks like a big dog, but he will, if you touch him and stuff, he will light up what's that bear called?
The Boo Buddy.
The Boo Buddy. And there's
Yeah.
2 Boo Buddies.
Yeah.
So there's one that's just
I would like to
EMF, and one that does more.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Well, if he senses vibration, he says hee that tickles.
Oh, that one's creepy.
Well, it is creepy, but if you're like if you're a little kid and a little kid ghost or something, and you bump it because it's like a perfect trigger object for a little kid, and then it says hee that tickles. Well, I guess that might be scary.
It is, and my child Haley, my daughter, my eldest child, loved Elmo, and a friend of mine got her this Elmo that said her name, and I have it. It's somewhere in this house because I have a problem finding anything away. So it's somewhere in this house. I'm gonna find it, and bet it still probably works. And I'm gonna start taking out investigations, but it would be like, oh, how are you, Haley? Because I guess it couldn't really say it was Haley, but it was like, Haley, I love you. And it was creepy. But, and then she had this horse. And my mother, who I've talked to years, but anyway, my mother gave her this stick horse. Those long, the ones we used to have. They weren't this fancy. This one had batteries in it, and like it talked. Hey, and it did that. It was annoying as hell. And I'd take it through the Oklahoma airport. Yes, and I'd take it through the Oklahoma airport and bring it on the flight with me, and with my child too. So it was this whole epidemic. Anyway, that thing died. She had it like maybe 3 or 4 years, and then the battery finally just said, "Nah, I'm good." Nope, it really didn't mean that, because I don't know, a year or so after it had completely died, it would randomly go off, coughing. That, and I think I left that at that last house. I wasn't bringing that to I didn't bring it over to Lacey Street from Kennesaw. I was like, nope.
Put it out to pasture.
I did. So it ceased to exist in my life. I kind of wish I still had it for paranormal things, but I don't. But I do know I have that. Haley, Emma loves tickles.
Amy loves tickles.
Here. I'm going to find him. And he's our new trigger object.
Okay. We'll bring him along.
Emma wants to have a love tickle, Haley. I think I made that part up.
I hope not.
Oh, that's so funny.
But it says, do her name
loves a little tickle.
It was his voice, Ella wants to play a game. Haley. Yeah, I'm going to find it. Mm-hmm. So,
no.
Anyways, my second child did not have anything like that.
No,
there was no horse. There was no. I think actually the horse was still alive at one point when he had been born. Before it before it died the first time.
No, but before it died its first natural death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because batteries don't last that long.
No,
and
no.
when it died. And for a while you could push it and it'd be like,
Cool.
yeah, it was like that. And now it died. And then it came back.
Huh?
And it came back like different.
Oh.
I'm making it sound like Pet
Oh.
Cemetery,
Oh.
but like
Wow.
it came back different. It wasn't the same old.
It had red eyes and
You didn't even have to touch it,
flaming
and it
hoof
would make
prints
noise.
as you played with it.
Yeah, that would be cool. Actually,
That would be
Like,
kind of cool.
woo. It's just that weirdo. He's like, "Hey, have you seen my butt?"
That's,
Stitch wants everyone to look at his butt. He's just a weirdo.
I keep hearing that.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet.
Right? Yeah. I'm like,
Everybody wants to look at my butthole.
he keeps coming like he's like walking behind us, and he's like over here, and he's over there, but he doesn't ever come like right here, which I keep expecting him to be like, "Hey, here it is. Look at it. Look at my butt."
And she says this, on the show, from time to time.
Yeah,
But if I looked around, I thought
because you thought it was his butt.
yeah,
Because I'm
But-
not lying.
it is to the point where I've noticed that it almost seems like if he sees you looking at him, then he turns around.
He's
and
like, "Wait,
here's my butt."
hold on. Have you seen this side of me today?" And then sometimes he changes angles, and he's like, "Wait, you should see it this way
Hold on,
too."
check this one out.
I like he needs his own OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, he does.
He's like,
With his little photo studio.
he needs it.
Yeah.
He can make me
So-
some money.
Yeah, I thought, for the longest time it was just Amy being funny, but
He just thought I was being dramatic. Everyone thinks I'm being dramatic because I am
No.
sometimes, but
it's
no,
like
he
as soon
really
as
is
he's like, "Oh wait,
Wait.
you're looking at me."
"Oh, hold on,
I've met Amy's kitties.
Fluff my hair and my
they're-
tail, and look at my butt." That's it.
They are all have their own individual weird personalities.
Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
that one's probably the weirdest.
It's right up
He
there.
tops the weirdness scale.
Yeah.
He's precious, but weird.
Yeah, precious. So other than the lighthouse, have you had any other like interesting investigations?
No, we have, like I said, we've trying to get everyone together is hard sometimes, but we've been wanting to do something as a team, and since COVID we don't really do any more house investigations. I don't anyway. The girls, they go and do that stuff, but I prefer not to. I never liked it to begin with. I prefer to do the more fun stuff and not getting into people's homes and entangling in that energy.
Yeah. Well, it's there's a lot to it, and there's that responsibility too that
Yeah.
I totally get that. It's all what you feel about what you're doing, right now at this particular point in what you're doing.
I
So I
respectfully decline
completely-
that stuff.
Yeah, I completely get it. So
We've investigated people's houses since COVID.
Uh-huh.
I would again.
oh, I would again too, but I'm saying I get it's a commitment to, because it's not just okay. Yeah, you got ghost.
Yeah, I saw too much mental health issues
Mhm.
and drug abuse that going into people's houses in South Florida is scary. So it just, for me personally, it was like, if you're not going to listen to, like, when I noticed that there's, drug paraphernalia and the person is obviously having a bout with schizophrenia and drug-induced psychosis, and you want to continue to egg it on, I don't want to be a part of that. And that was just where I drew the line. So I said, you all can do that on your own.
Yeah, no, that makes 100% sense to me. I mean, we had a case where, we went in. It wasn't necessarily drugs, but it was, there was a definite mental health aspect to it. And it was one of the most uncomfortable and no.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Sorry, we had to have a little private
yeah.
conversation. I was like, hold on.
Little side chat.
Hold on.
Yeah. Hold on, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Good.
But no, and this is
we
one
investigate together. So
yeah. Oh, I don't have my.
We are.
I'm at Waverly Hills.
That's
That
all right.
that's
That's all right.
it's okay.
Well, yeah, because
Okay.
you're still black. Because on Wednesdays we were black.
Yeah.
And that's an
Actually, I wore blue today to work. But
well, I was
changed.
wearing a gray Scooby Doo shirt, but
Yeah,
which
but
is
it's
still
Scooby-Doo.
yeah. But then I should
Scooby.
change into black.
Oh,
because
I thought I had Scooby Doo something.
I don't have any.
But no, that's the one that we weren't even able to finish it, and so it and honestly, it was almost. I thank God we couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
And it didn't, because we were already like, we really need to not be in this house.
Exactly.
And then they came out and said, we really don't need you in the house. And it was like, oh, okay. And yeah, once we got everything packed up and back in the vehicles and all the cameras unwired and all that stuff, it was definitely a thank God moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally get that. I think that, you know, the fun ones are more fun.
Yeah.
And I get that 100%. So
and my heart goes out to the people that want to help other people, but again, we're not like licensed professionals in any way of any capacity, and I think sometimes like until you get your mental health in check and you're still having these issues after you've gone through everything, then maybe that's the time to call someone in. But now when you're actively like using drugs or in a mental health crisis, and then when the family doesn't want you there, and it's just I've walked into too many weird situations that just made me uncomfortable. I had a couple of really good ones that were lighthearted and very cool, and we were able to do some closure with the family and stuff. And you end up with a lot of people too who are grieving, and want to have communication with their loved ones after they die. And I think that's something I personally don't want to be involved with. I just like the investigation and the scientific part of it, and getting the evidence and having your experiences and sharing them, and it being a lighthearted where even on the ghost aspect of it, they're willing participants in it, you know? So.
Yeah. No, I 100% get it, because I've heard the kind of, I don't want to say the slams, but they kind of are slams, where people in the paranormal community will say, if you're not willing to help people, you're not an investigator. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, because you can still investigate in known places of hauntings. And so why does it have to be, well, if you're not to this level, you're not an investigator?
right, and some people have those gifts where they're able to communicate with the other side and give people messages that they're looking for, which I think that's more what they're looking for, is a psychic to come into the house. And like, and I'm not a psychic, and and you know, and I'm not going to, and I'm not comfortable even if I have a little bit of psychic abilities with like giving people a message and being at the wrong message, you know. So I don't
Yeah,
even that's not helping somebody, in my opinion. That's just feeding your own ego.
I 100% agree.
Hmm.
You know, and honestly, I bounce back and forth.
Hmm.
I enjoy the possibility of helping someone, but there are times in my life where I'm like, I just want to investigate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going through so much personal bullshit right now that I don't know what I'm going to bring into this investigation.
Hmm. Or
And
take away
so,
with it.
yeah, so to me, let investigators investigate. You don't have to define it. You don't have to say
No.
you're not a true team if you're not willing to help people. because that's BS. There's, you say that, we can get into true scientific theory and say, it's ghosts can't exist because they can't be duplicated in a lab. But we're ghost investigators and we keep moving the lab. So, I mean, look at it at that level. If you keep going into people's homes, that's a hit and you're done as far as
Yeah.
investigations. If you truly want to investigate, go to where there's tried and true.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how you get some
And it's
experience, and you get a little bit of this. But I also think you should be willing to help people that need help. If they're scared and they have children, and you've done this a time or two. I'm not just talking about like newbies. Don't just be coming out and being like, "No, I'm gonna come to your house and help you."
Don't do that. That's the flip side of it. You read
that's the thing. Like,
you watched Ghost Investigators on TV for 2 years.
Yeah, well, I watch
the
it on
house
TV, so I know what to do.
Yeah.
No, the fuck you don't. Please don't. If you don't know, like, but I do think that as an investigator, I think, and especially like having a team, like our team, you're putting it out there, and we need to help people. If they ask us for help, we need to help them. And
I prefer the investigations though when the people actually leave the home and have allowed us to investigate the home and not have their energy there, because you'll get more out of that and to see what's going on. When the people don't want to leave and they want to be a part of the investigation, that's when it starts to get really weird, because you start to get vibes off of them and they're using different things that they've seen on TV. They're trying to be little investigators themselves. And it's like, why are we even here? You need to have I don't know, what is the scientific word that I'm looking for?
Controlled
You need to have in a controlled environment, so we can give you like some feedback as you may be the person, the catalyst for this stuff that's going on. So the attachment might be to you, and so I've done a few, but like again, like I've gotten away from it.
Yeah, I get it. Now for me, I think that it's like I said, there are times where for years and years we didn't do any fun investigations. All we did were private homes.
Now you gotta break up the monotony.
You gotta break that up and take off. You gotta have a chance to do an investigation where it's not almost mission critical. It's but that being said, if you're not in a good place to be able to do that, but you can still investigate and be an investigator by doing the fun ones. I get that. But like for us, it's if you're having a problem, by all means, we're ready to do whatever it takes to help you out.
Especially if we children are involved.
Oh my God.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've done several cases where, you pull into the house and they're like sleeping, all their bedding and everything's in the car, to where they're so afraid to go into the house that they're sleeping in their car for the last month.
Oh, yeah, that kind of stuff I can understand. And those are the kind of people that don't want to be in the house while you investigate.
No,
they want you to go in there and figure out what the hell's going on. I would do that in a heartbeat. I've just been in yeah.
Well, in your setting, I mean, you're walking into a lot more of the the drug and the.
Florida's a hot spot for that.
That would taint me in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Yeah, that was one of the last ones I did, and I was like, I can't do this again. If my team wasn't willing to listen and walk away, because they were really about getting the information, and we had to talk about it. And I think the ladies have stepped back from that too, because they had realized what had happened, and so I was like, I wasn't comfortable with that, because she was clearly schizophrenic, you know, as soon as we walked up and she said, "Do you see all the soldiers lined up around the house?" I was like, "You guys, this isn't a normal investigation." I said, "She's got mental health issues going on." And just going through the home, I was like, "We got to go. We can't help her yet."
Yeah, exactly right. We did an investigation where, hold on, I'm trying to see, my computer's trying to die. Um, we did an investigation years ago, and I brought this up, I don't know, 6 months ago on the show, where in interviewing and all of that stuff with the family, um, I found out that the mother and elderly mother um, was hearing voices, and by the way the family was presenting it, I really got like a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said to them, I really want to help you.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Um,
I really want to help you, but we would do a disservice if you focused on either side of this equation. Meaning, if you just address the mental health issue, then it could be a paranormal issue.
Mm-hmm.
If you just address the paranormal part of this, it could be a mental health issue. So I will investigate your home if you get the mother not cleared, but checked out mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And
or at least not have her in the house when you're doing an investigation. Make sure
it's,
she's far away from the home.
but I also didn't want to record EVPs and have them say, okay, this is what mom must be hearing, and not get her mental health checked out. So
Yeah.
I needed it to be on
Yeah,
both fronts.
yeah, but
And that became the most interesting kind of paradoxical, or I don't know, it became a really it I'll just break down the investigation because it truly has me kind of like, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a mental mind fuck. Um, we did the investigation, and at the end of the investigation, yeah. Um, sorry, I'm plugged in now. At the end of the investigation, we kind of walked away, and I was like, okay, guys, this was a good opportunity to get some training, um, to kind of fine tune how we investigate, because we didn't get a thing
Mm-hmm.
until we got home and started reviewing our audio recorders. And that house, still to date, is the most EVPs per minute I've ever recorded.
Wow.
It was crazy busy as far as and in different languages. The most of them were in English and Spanish, but it was a good
Mm-hmm.
healthy blend of the two. They spoke Spanish and English. Okay, the what makes it kind of like what the hell is they did come back with a mental health report and got the mother on medication because of her mental health,
Mm-hmm.
because they said, yeah, she's probably hearing voices, but it's in her head. Okay, so I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So told the family, let's get her in, find out how long for the medication to kind of take hold, to where it's starting to make a difference with her mental health, and I want to come back and do another investigation. So they called me back, and I think it was a couple months. And they called me back and said, okay, she's talking about how she's no longer hearing the voices in her head. And, she's got the doctors are saying this and this and whatever. And I was like, perfect. Now would be a good time for me to do a follow up investigation. So we went out and did another investigation and did not record but maybe 2 EVPs the whole night. So it went from 100 EVPs to like one or two.
Was she in there with you? The
She
first
was
investigation?
she was in there actually for both, but she wasn't. They kind of quarantined them off into like a family room that was kind of off from the house.
I wonder if you were almost experiencing kind of a poltergeist where she was projecting out the things that she was hearing into the
It
energy out into the, and then once she got it unchecked, then you weren't hearing what was their thoughts and being projected out, if that makes sense.
it's gooey.
Because I made it with condensed milk instead of
Real milk? All right.
no, instead of oil and water.
Oh, okay. It's good. I mean, that's interesting. It could be. The kind of my working theory on it is the fact that's really good. Is with her after talking to the family, and they would say that she would sit there and get kind of angry at the voices.
Mm-hmm.
So she was constantly saying, at the beginning, she was like, I hear you, this and that, and kind of having this dialogue back and forth with the voices, but it was out of her head. She was actually speaking it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so my working theory is here she's talking about hearing voices crazy like amounts. She's also hearing voices because of her mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm recording voices, gets medication, and this is where your theory works nice too. Because now she's like mental or medically, through her medication, so she might not be projecting that. I had taken it to the point of that she was kind of projecting it in her actions, like because she's responding to voices that may or may not be in her head. She's kind of giving this as ghosts are kind of going by on the superhighway. And they're like,
That's a good theory too. Yeah.
If you're hearing things, it could be coming from anywhere. If you're one of those people who can hear, it's this spiritual like highway of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you hear it coming all the time. So it's hard to, and then if you throw mental illness on top of that, then you're hearing all the noises.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very confusing and scary.
Mm-hmm.
And confusing, yes.
Holy shit, that's good.
Yeah, they're like super like gooey. Like you can't cut it like a regular. Like I had to scoop it out.
What are you eating?
I made brownies.
The best non-brownie brownie I've ever had.
Like, okay, so I did the thing where you use condensed milk. That's where I had left condensed milk instead of
fudge
water, and they're freaking amazing.
It's kind of like a fudge brownie that's like a good blend between fudge and brownie.
Yeah, like
Katie makes those.
Holy shit! She sat down on a spoon with like a brownie.
Because I couldn't. It doesn't make a brownie.
That is so good though. Yeah. So I was thinking that she kind of was projecting the fact that she was hearing, and so a ghost is like, because kind of in my theory about why they're still around is in particular cases they just want to be heard. Yeah. They just want
some special.
Yeah. But they just want that dialogue. They have something that they're trying to convey. And so if you have somebody that's broadcasting the fact that I'm hearing you, would you please be quiet? All of a sudden she's got this line of people that are like, no, she can hear us. Maybe she can help us. Maybe she can whatever.
But when it all comes at you at one time, you can't.
Yeah. But then as soon
as
you're
not processing the thoughts correctly in your head because you're already having, you're not on a little unstable, but I see that's a really good that was a very good thought.
I love your theory too. That's equally as I hadn't thought of that just because I kind of think I was thinking like
just her thoughts and like a poltergeist, her own thoughts jumbling up in her head and she's just throwing them out and she's answering back and you're hearing it like a recording, like the energy, someone's energy You know, just their
Yeah, no,
energy that they're
that
throwing
makes
out.
perfect sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, and unfortunately, this one was probably 18 years ago, something like that, and it wasn't long into my. It was one of the early ones. Um, so yeah, and she was old enough that they really didn't. Even if I would have thought of let's get her out of the house and see what we get. In this particular case, that probably wouldn't have been a good thing to do.
Mhm.
Um, and especially if depending on her mental health and where she's at, trying to say, okay, you're coming out of the house, I can see
Right.
that going horribly bad. Um,
Yeah.
but now I wish I had the opportunity to go back and investigate with her out of the house and see what happens.
Yeah.
But that's why I love talking to other investigators, because you
Yeah.
never know what you're going
To
to.
learn.
Yeah, it's
None of us are experts.
no.
And just because you're on TV doesn't make you an expert.
No, it gives you more responsibility.
Absolutely.
But I was talking to another, I was talking to a manager at work, and we were talking about having an open door kind of policy with how we, manage employees.
Hmm.
And I brought up the fact that, something I learned a long time ago with investigations is, even though I've done this for however many years, I had a plumber come in and do an investigation with us, and he never had investigated before.
Wow, you're like,
And
I had a plumber come in.
I dropped the wrench. No, it was amazing. No, God, you know her. Come on.
It's a paranormal. It's like us. It's like a. Listen, the more time I spend with the paranormal people, the more I'm like, wow, we're all just a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, we are.
We're all
We are.
and we all have a lot of gas. Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, I call your stomach sounds out from across the room.
Yeah.
I can be like, that was Kevin.
Yeah. At least they stay in my stomach, though.
Right. At least my gas comes out of the attic and not the basement.
Yeah.
Because I spent a lot of time this weekend with some basement gas.
Yeah, no. And I wasn't there.
And I'll tell you, like protein bars, watch out, yo. Because you think it's the fiber ones that are going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
But the protein ones, same.
Yeah.
Take it from my experience. But yeah, no, I don't know. We're just all a bunch of weirdos. But anyways,
We all are weirdos.
You called in a plumber.
I didn't call in a plumber. We had an investigator who was, he hadn't investigated, and I was just like, I'm more than willing to, if you're
A plumber's one great to have on your team, though.
Yeah, I was like, come on, I'll show you what we do. And after the first part, just seeing part of it and going through with the team, he asked me a question. I don't remember. This has been 15 years ago. I don't remember what the question was, but I was like, I've scored 7 years ago. So,
I'm just here for that.
God.
Listen, I'm just here for the inappropriate comments, sound effects. I'm good at that. Go ahead. Continue on. 7 years ago.
7 years ago, I had an investigation that I brought in a plumber, and no wrenches were dropped. God.
No, in reality, and I'm not being perfect. Like a plumber is one good to have on your team. I mean, that's the tax people. That's how they got started in the ghost hunters. They were plumbers, so they can differentiate the sounds of
still
ghosts.
part of the team. I've got my own plumber on the team. Gosh. But he asked me something midway through the first part of our investigation.
Go ahead.
And it was like, It was a good question, and we still do stuff differently to this day because of that question. Point being, he had never investigated before. He had no investigative experience, but he had a good point.
Hmm.
But me as an investigator who's thinking I've got all this experience, why am I going to listen to a plumber? That's why you need to listen to people no matter what. And so I think that it doesn't, you need to listen to the people who have never investigated. You need to listen to
Absolutely.
the people who have investigated. In other words, it's a level playing field. Everybody's got good ideas.
None of us are experts.
No, so it's, so that's why I love sharing stories, and all of a sudden you get like another viewpoint.
Perspective. Because it's all really hypothesis. You're just as an educated guess as to what could be happening based on your past experiences. And everyone's experience is very different. And everyone's experience is valid whether you were there or not. Because I truly honestly believe sometimes people have these experiences that are either true or not true, and they feel that it's okay.
Exactly right. So I had to get her back. Sorry.
For what?
For what?
The plumber thing?
Have you not been here the
Listen,
whole show?
you put yourself into that one, the plumber thing.
I have never put myself in a plumber. I mean, I don't think.
The swear show is explicit.
You said fuck before I did.
Well, I always say fuck.
Uh-huh.
I'm from that generation. I don't know.
What generation's that?
I don't know. I just my dad used to get mad at me and he'd be like, "You just need to cut the fuck." What the fuck does that mean? Cut the fuck.
Cut the
Yeah.
fuck.
Cut the fuck.
That's what my dad told me.
God, I haven't heard cut the fuck in
You haven't?
not in years.
Well, here you go.
No.
And so one year,
Cut the
because
fuck.
I'm who I am, it was his birthday, and I made him a cake.
Did it say cut the fuck?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Love
did.
it.
Because that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
He loved
And-
it too, didn't he?
He wasn't amused.
He
but,
wasn't?
No. But,
Oh, I'm sorry. It was supposed to say cake. Cut the cake.
oh, my bad. Oopsie.
It happens. I just found out that my go-to cuss word is apparently son of a bitch.
Really?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I something happened. Was it yesterday? It may have even been today. I think it was yesterday. And
Mine-
Chandler was like right behind me, and something happened, and I went son of a, and we both said of a bitch at the same time, and I was like, he goes, yeah, that's your go-to,
That's your go-to.
Mine is motherfucker.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Because today, I thought that I was Hercules, and I was trying to vacuum the kitchen and pick up the that tray with the cap holes on it, and I was like, I can do it with one hand. No, I can't, because both my elbows are fucked up right now. So one dish went, so it didn't break the Pyrex, thank God, because it was a ghost Pyrex. But there was cat food everywhere. So I had to suck it up with the back.
Suck it up. It was clean when I got here, so.
Well, because it sucks up all the cat food with the vacuum from my interesting epidemic. Can't blame it on ghosts. I can only blame it on myself.
Yeah. Good gosh.
What?
9:50.
Is it really? Oh. Well,
Wow.
shit.
Time flies when you have Amber on the show.
Have you seen anything interesting in the sky lately?
No. I haven't been out looking though. It's been too hot and working and all that, but no, I haven't. And nothing weird has been reported. As far as I know, it's like Florida just, I don't know, Florida doesn't report on weird stuff anymore. The last thing we had was like that last UFO thing at the mall on New Year's Day. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. Did you guys hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
You have to look it up. It looks wild, but it's some footage. Some people were scared. It looks like there's big giant people, but it's like the flashlights and the projection of the police officers, but it really does look like you're being invaded by aliens, and everyone freaked out at the mall on New Year's Day.
Really? So it was one of those atmospheric things where it bounces and like projects up to the sky. So it looked like police officers in the sky.
No, it looked like it on the buildings, and it made the news. As far as the people at the mall were calling in that they were being invaded by UFOs or something. It was really weird. And this was mass hysteria by like a bunch of people at I think the Miami-Dade Mall. I can't remember.
Oh.
You gotta look it up. You gotta look it up and watch the footage. Because I look back on it and you could tell that it was the police officers, but it was almost like they're like a projection, like how when you do like hand puppets and you put the flashlight and it looks bigger than what it is. And so the way that some of it looked like there was like these big, tall, like skinny, like figures going across the walls. It was wild. You're looking it up now, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You say that was on New Year's Day?
New Year's Day of 2024.
Well, I just wanted to type it in enough that I could keep rumors of an alien invasion at Bayside Market.
Bayside Market, that's it.
In Miami went viral, but Miami police refuted them, stating there were no aliens. UFOs are ETs. Don't you hate that? There are no ETs.
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 There might be.
All right. Yeah, I've got it to the point now where I can.
Yeah, it was a wild event, but once you actually sit down and you break it down, you can see that but it was mass hysteria, and that's scary when you got that many people together in one place and they freak out. That's when people start whipping out their guns and shooting and like doing crazy stuff. But thankfully, no one was really hurt.
Pushing each other down and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary stuff.
I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna wait at the back. It's good.
Yeah,
if it's my time, I'm gonna let the aliens take me.
Give me another beer.
Take me. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe some chips.
And salsa.
Yeah,
And I'll just wait.
Just wait. Let them shoot each
Let
other.
them all climb over each other.
What it was clouds? Okay, give me another beer then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, at that point, the people at work they're gonna run away. You just help yourself.
Help yourself to the beers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they usually have a big tub of chips. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're set. All right. Cool.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We're
ready for the alien invasion. We're going to be eating our chips and sauce and drinking our beers.
I'm going to just be like, there they go. Look. Ooh, that one got sucked up. That one went quick. Must have really liked him.
You never know.
Well, I eat my chips and salsa. I mean, really, if it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah.
Take me.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So it says the guy was
I already got the RH blood. It's good. It's good. They're already looking for me. It's fine. I'm going to sit here and eat my chips and salsa and drink my margarita.
Mm-hmm.
Get a shot of whiskey and wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. Wait it out.
Yeah.
We got a plan.
We got what?
A plan.
We got a plan?
Yeah. We're just going to stay back.
Well, I'm listening to this. I'm thinking that sounds really good, but I'm also the guy that has like bug out bags in the truck.
Well, you will need them, but you got to hang back for a minute. Because other people are going to kill you, trample you.
Yeah, you
like,
wait
all the things.
in
So we're going to kick back.
Well, and that way, when the crowd comes in to like do like mass hysteria stuff in the bar, you just hand them a beer,
right,
and keep eating your chips.
But at this point, everybody's running out of the mall.
Yeah, true.
So they're gone. You're like, wait, you got to clear it out. Then you make your move. But at that point, that's your plan. Because otherwise, you may die getting trampled.
We're there. So
anyway, if anyone else has any helpful information about this,
how to survive
this
a
guy.
mall trampling.
Do what?
How to
survive? I would just hide in the racks of clothes.
No, I'm going to the
It's
bar.
you know something you talk about. You just reminded me of something I did back in the when I was a little kid.
Hide in the racks of clothes.
I did hide in a rack of
Yep.
clothes, and this is back when micro mini skirts were in, like in the late '60s, because I am that old.
I said I'm not.
But all of a sudden, my parents heard this girl screaming.
Because this pervert's in
Because
the freaking.
I was in the middle because they had the
Yeah, they were round.
and you could get in the middle and
How
it'd be
old were
like
you?
your
Like
little fort.
14?
No, I was like 5, 4.
Okay.
And but I always saw my dad pinch my mom's butt. So I reached up under her micro mini skirt and pinched her on the butt. And she went to screaming. And then they found me in the middle of the So I may be hiding in the middle of the clothes again. You never know.
I should be like
I have not
At 5, you were cute, and now it's just kind of pervy.
Well,
Hey,
I'm new
I
tonight.
can't help it. I am what I am. Yeah.
Anyhow,
Do we have anything coming up? Amber, do you have anything coming up that you want to spread to the masses, or?
No, not at this time. We're like I said, we're just in the works of planning something. So, I'm thinking, the Pitts Old South. Am I gonna say it right? OSHP.
Old
Yeah.
South Pittsburgh Hospital. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be a fun investigation with my team.
Yeah, and let us know.
Absolutely. We can all get together.
boy, you can ask for me to be your.
Well, you know I will, Amy.
I'm a great chaperone.
Would be
And
fun.
you'll be our sidekick the whole night.
So weird they felt me
Her
in
in
charge.
That's scary in itself. But
That's awesome.
I have hot
what would be
hands.
really fun would be to do like you, Heather, and Jeff, and then I pay to go with her team.
Hmm?
That would work out if I'm not back in the volunteer.
It would.
That would work. Yeah, we'll make it work. Just
We'll
let
make
us
it
know.
work.
Yeah. I'll try to get some dates going and throw it out to our group text and see what they think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or throw the two groups together and do the big one. Yeah, we'll be in touch. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
So, because I would love to, and then we can even branch that out into the other hospital later too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
cool. So, Amber, it has been a joy and a pleasure, and I've missed you. So it's good to see
I
you.
miss you guys. Same.
And you need to get up here sometime if I was going to say,
Oh, I know.
because for both of us to get down there would be like really hard. But,
yeah, definitely. I'll try to get up there soon. I definitely been thinking about it.
Yeah, and what we can also do is if we can get the team down to like into St. Augustine or something like that sometime soon.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, then you can come
Yeah.
up and do some stuff with us that way. But I'd love to do some stuff with you. I think that'd be a blast.
Yeah, it would be.
So, but it has been a joy and a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
Well, thank you
Yep.
for taking time out in your car.
I was afraid we didn't have any ambulances or anything. It was quiet tonight.
I didn't think we don't.
I didn't hear anything
No.
here.
I didn't hear cops or nothing here. It was a
No,
quiet
no.
night. Well,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the
Wow.
night.
I need to hurry home. Before.
Yeah, hurry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all for listening, and we'll be back next week.
Yep. Stay spooky.
Yeah, stay spooky. Good night, y'all.
Bye, everybody.